When are you going to decide on whether you want to have my parents moving in or not? I have been waiting for a week now, and there still has not been an answer from you.
You want to talk about that again? I've already told you that I don't want to live with them, so that's it, Chris.
The only person that's against this is you, Alice. Just hurry up and make your choice. Right now, my mom is very excited to move in with us, so don't keep her waiting.
I'm sure all she wants is someone to take care of her and do all the chores, right?
Are you making fun of my mom or something?
Well, up until now, every time we've gone over to your parents' house, your mom has made me do all of the chores. And then she takes you with her, and you all get to have fun without me.
Well, that's because your job as my wife is to get all the housework done, for everyone. Stop complaining about it already.
And what about those times she'll purposefully throw food on the floor and tell me to go clean it up?
She tells you every time that those are accidents, okay? She has made it very clear that she has slippery hands, and that's why she drops that food. Do you still not believe her?
You're telling me that every single time I'm there, she has slippery hands like that? Of course I don't believe what she's saying, Chris. Also, I've heard about what your mom has said about me, and about how she only wanted me marrying you in order to become her bedside nurse in the future. I don't want that for myself, all right? Have her hire someone to come and take care of her instead of using me as free labor.
So that's your only excuses for not wanting to live with my parents?
My only excuses? What? Why do you not care at all about how I'm feeling right now? Is this because you have someone else besides me or something?
Who are you even talking about?
I asked you this one time before. Who is that girl you seem so close to and are always walking with? We have things we still need to figure out between ourselves as husband and wife, so we do not have the ability to live with your parents now.
I told you that's one of the new hires at the company. When we are coming home from the bar, we are both drunk as hell. And that's why you see her and I all over one another. How many more times do I have to explain that to you? Would you stop being such a dramatic witch? Jesus. Stop thinking about a world where I'm the bad guy, and make your decision. Yo! Reply to me right now.
What, Chris? You haven't even said anything to me yet. What do you want?
I want you to listen and be shocked by this. We've decided that my parents and us will be living together. There's better not be any complaints from you after this.
What? What do you mean we are living together?
You are so thick-headed. I'm saying that I've made the choice for you, since you never gave an answer. I've already sent my mom and dad's things to the house for them. They might already be arriving there as we speak.
Is that right? Well, luckily that's all happened just as I've moved out of there.
What? You moved out?
Yep. I sent all my things to my parents' house already, and they said they just got them right as I walked through their front door.
So you're not even at the house anymore? I never heard anything about this.
That's because I never said anything about it to you. Chris, you left the house the moment you woke up to go and see your parents, so I never had any time to tell you to your face. That's right.
So you're telling me you never got any of my mom or dad's things today? What the hell are you doing? What is this about you moving out of our house even? I want you to tell me what's going on here right now. Stop trying to derail this conversation and move on to the next thing.
You're the one freaking out right now and jumping all over the place. You were just telling me about how you didn't listen to my answer and forced your way into getting your parents into the house, right? You can't say anything to me. I knew something like that would be happening soon, and that's why I moved out today and back to my parents' house. Recently, you've been on the phone with the moving company, and I started to get worried about what would happen next. So I made the right choice by getting out of there now.
Unbelievable. Do you even consider yourself my wife? I'm going to tell my parents about this.
Alice, it's been a while. Candace, I haven't seen you in so long. You told me a while back that you were busy. Are things all better now? Things are a lot better now. I'm not as tied up with everything anymore. So what's been going on with you today? Why are you texting me right now? Well, the last time you and I had a chance to meet, you were talking to me about how things with my brother and Mom were pretty tough on you, right? It's been some time since then, but I wanted to check up on you and see if everything's okay now. Well, thank you for worrying about me. That was very kind of you to think of me today. I have to say that you coming to me was some pretty good timing, because just today, Chris tried to force your parents onto me. He even went and sent all their things to our house without telling me. What? You have to be lying about that, right? How could he do something like that? Alice, are you okay right now? I'm fine. I knew something bad was going to be happening with us soon, so I made sure to get things shipped off to my parents' house today, and I moved back in with them now. I don't have to worry about that drama anymore now. I feel like I just made it out of there just in time to save myself. Very true. I'm so sorry about my family causing you even more trouble. You don't have to apologize for them, Candace. You've been out of your parents' house for a long time now and barely even talked with any of them since then, right? You have nothing to do with what decisions they've made this time. And the fact that you're checking up on me now after so long, thank you so much. But Alice, back when I first heard about my brother getting married to someone, I was so worried about the woman he was with because I knew my parents would take advantage of her. I should have warned you about all that sooner. And from the look of things, my brother doesn't seem to care about you at all. Moving my parents into your house like that without getting your permission as well? It was going to happen eventually, Candace, but I was lucky enough to take care of myself there and made it out alive. Well, if you have anything else you're worried or troubled by, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I will do whatever I can to help you out.
Have you fixed that poor attitude of yours? I hope you're not acting like a selfish brat anymore, and will come back here right now. My mom and dad are waiting patiently for you. How much longer are you going to keep us all waiting?
Selfish brat? I didn't go back home to my parents' house just because I'm selfish. All of you never listened to the answer I gave you and made the choice to move your mom and dad in anyway.
From the start, I'd have been talking about having my parents come live with us. This was all being talked about way before yesterday and today. So what the hell, Alice?
And that whole time I had been saying no to having your parents move in with us.
Do you really hate my mom that much? Even though she's been treating you with so much kindness?
So much kindness? Stop joking already and get real, Chris. To me, everything she was doing was abusive. Day after day, asking me to go to her house and clean for her, and then forcing me to make her dinner. And anytime she would make dinner, she'd feed me only the leftovers or burnt scraps. Then, when I'd go home at night all worn out and wanting to relax, she'd call me again asking me to go back over to her house. And when I'd say no to that, she'd come over to our house uninvited and start forcing me to do more chores there. No matter how many times I asked her to give me the duplicate key to the house back, she would just whine and moan before running off. I was never able to get a break in that house with all of you. So don't you frickin' dare say she was treating me with so much kindness.
My mom was doing all of that for your sake.
Bullcrap, she only cares about you. That's why, for whatever reason, you keep a blind eye to all the hate that she keeps on feeding me. This is the reason why Candace ran away from you all, right? Because your mom only cared about you and would make her do all the work around the house while you were spoiled to death.
That's... all you do is complain. Your job as my wife is to do everything my mom tells you.
Well, if you're going to keep on bringing that up, then what about you? Do you think you're accomplishing your job as a husband? All you've done for me is side with your parents on everything and have not ever cared about what I say or think.
Of course I side with them. Because you were once a complete stranger to me before. My mom and dad have always been my family, unlike you. It's common sense for me to side with the people I've always known.
Alright then, Chris. I see. So I'm not your family then. Sounds great. Glad to see we've both settled all of this then. I'm out of here. But before I'm totally gone, I'll do what I can to make sure this crap never happens to me again.
I'm not sure what you plan on doing, but it better be something involving you getting your butt back home. Are you serious right now? I could see that your parents' house is up for sale right now. Did you guys forget to pay the bills or something? That must mean you have nowhere else to live now, right? Now you'll have to come back to your husband and beg all of us for forgiveness. And make sure to not bring your parents along with you. This house isn't big enough for those two animals.
What's this? Did you come around my parents' house or something?
I did. I may be busy right now, but I decided to come pay my selfish woman a visit. I'm so kind thinking about you when I have far more important things to be doing, right? Although, you have kept me waiting for months now. So this is what's happened over these last couple of months? Hilarious. You've lost your house! Where are you right now? On the road, trying to find a place to sleep now?
I would never live a life like that. We're having that house sold because we don't need it anymore.
Huh? What do you mean you don't need it anymore?
There's a new house I'm moving into. Actually, it's a penthouse, but we bought the place, so it's all ours.
A penthouse? Stop lying!
If only this were a lie. Right now, you happen to be in front of that old house, right? Then you must have seen where we're living now on your way over there. It's that new skyscraper that's just next to the main station. The one that's all modern with a somewhat medieval accent to it.
What? That massive building? You're kidding, right? You bought that place without ever telling me about it?
That's right. There are no plans in my future of ever going back to you, so I decided to leave you out of this.
Did you buy that penthouse with your own money then?
With the money I had saved up before we got married, and also with some money from my father. I didn't take any money out of our shared bank account, so calm down.
I'm not worried. And the name on that place is yours, right? If that's the case, then I can bring my parents along with me and move in there.
Huh? What are you talking about?
Since you're my wife, that means anything you own is also mine. Kick your parents out of there right now, and then let my family in there. Tell us your room number right now.
Are you being serious right now? I would like you to sleep if you're so tired that you start to speak nonsense to me. I'm not telling you anything more about this place. And I'm not even giving you guys the code to get into the building.
Shut up and listen to me, Alice. Give me your room number and the code right now.
Not going to happen.
Alice! Are you sure you want to do this? I happen to know a very good lawyer who can help me out with this. If you tell me right now, then I'll forgive you for abandoning me for so long. Now, tell us the room number. Yo! Candace, long time no see. I hear you've become a lawyer now, right? It's been years now since we last talked, since you never replied back to me after leaving the house. But we're still close to one another, right?
Huh? Why are you wanting to talk now?
Come on now, sis. Don't be so cold. I happen to have a favor to ask of you, now that you've become a lawyer and everything. You and I are family, so you'll do this for me without charging me, right?
That's where I thought this was going. It didn't take too long for you to tell me the truth there. I know that you want to work with me because of the lawyer I've become and all, since that's how you've always been. Using me like I'm some kind of tool to you until things are all better and you just throw me away.
Yo, what the hell is wrong with you? Is that the right way to be talking to your older brother?
You're nothing like an older brother to me anymore.
Well, who cares? I'll forgive you this time for acting that way, since I'm such a kind brother and all. You've met with my wife Alice once before, haven't you? Right now, Alice isn't living in the same house as me. She's moved into a new place that she bought without ever telling me a thing. It's a freaking penthouse in this new skyscraper as well. That witch. She bought the place while we've been married, so that makes the place mine as well, right? I want you, as the lawyer you are, to go to her right now and tell her that I legally have the right to be there. Then I'll be able to move into that new penthouse with both Mom and Dad.
What kind of BS is this? From what Alice has told me, she bought the place using both her dad's money and money she saved up before marrying you. That means the place isn't technically yours, and you have no right to it.
What? Why do you know about what Alice has done, and about how she paid for it with her dad's money?
Because I've been meeting with her occasionally. And she spoke with me about buying the penthouse and everything as well before she went through with it. She wanted a new place to live with her parents, but was afraid of you taking it from her. So she came to me seeking guidance. But since she's paid for the place with both her dad's money and with money she had before marrying you, there's nothing you can do to have a right to it. I made sure she was aware of that, which seemed to make her very happy.
You? Who the hell's side are you on? Why aren't you trying to help your family out, and are helping her instead? Who are the ones that raised you into the woman you are now? That was both Mom and Dad, you idiot. It's because of those two that you're a lawyer, and you should be thankful for that. You are so freaking ungrateful.
You really think something like that to be true? There's a small bit of truth to that, and I will say that I'm thankful for the very small amount of food Mom prepared for me. But that's about all I need to be thankful for. Because both Mom and Dad only cared about spoiling you and making sure you were never unhappy, I was put on the sidelines having to fend for myself. Then you began to act like them too, and for years and years would pick on me and make me feel like I was unwanted there. When I was studying, you all would tell me women didn't need school, and at times would burn my books and everything else I needed for school because I was just supposed to cook and clean for the rest of my life. That's why, in the end, I had to make the only choice that would save myself, and that was leaving all of you and running away. Luckily, when it came to college, I was able to get a small scholarship and work a few part-time jobs to pay off the rest of tuition. And after some long years of having to work practically full-time studying, I became a lawyer. I didn't think for a second that this outcome was thanks to any of you. I never will.
Talk about the past all you want, but I don't remember a thing. Just put all that crap behind you and listen to what I need from you.
Were you listening? Or have you suffered that much brain damage that you forgot things that only just happened to you? No matter what you try and say to me, I'm not listening to it. Oh, and another thing. There should be an envelope making its way to your house soon.
An envelope?
The one who is paying the rent for that house you're still living in was Alice, right? It's been a few months now since she left that house, but you, Mom, and Dad still continue to live there, right?
What?
Alice told me that she's going to end the lease here soon. That envelope might have something to do with that.
Huh? But we are still living here.
You guys still living there doesn't mean anything to Alice, though. You were the one that moved Mom and Dad in there without ever getting her permission. So there shouldn't be a problem with her ending the lease on that place without your permission, right?
Are you saying that you don't care about what's going to happen to us?
I'm sure you all can just go back to that old and run-down house again, right? That's all you guys have to do, so stop trying to act like you're going to die because of this.
That house has been torn down now.
Is that right? Well, sucks to suck then. Are we done here now? You guys have to get ready to move out of there soon, so you don't have time to still be talking to me. So, I recommend you get to it.
First her, and now you? Alice, it looks like you went and ended the lease without ever asking me first.
Ah, so now you guys are aware of that too then? Well, that's the truth. I'm not living there anymore, so why should I keep renting it? I've paid for the last month already, so you have 1 month to move out of there. If you don't leave by the end of the month, then the landlord's going to be a little upset. By the way, you were talking about how you know this really good lawyer before? Were you talking about Candace or something? Did you try talking to her already? Even after all the things you did to her in the past?
Shut the hell up already. I don't need to ask her for help anyway, because there are other lawyers I can get to help me. I might even take you with me to court and have the judge deal with your butt.
Go ahead and try to make some case out of this, but I doubt any lawyer is going to take your side.
Crap. Why are you doing things like this? Do you not love me anymore or something? Just deal with having my parents around and come back here this instant.
I love it when you play stupid like that. You make it sound so realistic half the time, talking like you don't understand any English. I mean, could you really be telling me that you still don't understand why I don't want to live with them? That would be insane if this was truly you turning a blind eye to all of that still. I mean, I was going through all that hell right in front of your eyes, so there's no way you didn't see that, right? Coming home from having to work late only to be immediately woken up by her to start cleaning and cooking even though it's the middle of the night? I'm practically suffering from insomnia now because I was never allowed to sleep. Do you remember that time I passed out? I was lacking so much sleep that at one moment everything went dark and I collapsed. When I went to the doctors for that, the doctor told me I needed sleep and food badly. But none of you ever explained that the reason for me being in that state was because of your mom. It's not like any of you would say anything about me anyway, because the whole dang time it's all about your mom. Do you even love me anymore, Chris? Have you ever loved me? If you really ever once considered me as part of your family, you would have never let me go through all of that hell.
Honestly, you are so damn annoying, woman. Make your decision already. Either you allow my parents and I to move into your penthouse, or you tell the landlord to forget about ending the lease and let us live here forever while paying the rent. And I expect you to pay that rent until we are all dead.
I'm not choosing either of those options.
Huh?
If you're about to lose your house, then why not move in with your girlfriend? Tell her you're bringing the parents along as well.
Huh? What are you talking about?
I'm not stupid, Chris. I never have been, so would you stop trying to fool me like that? You've been going out with that new hire at your work that you always told me was just a new hire, right? And even after I've left you all months ago, you and her have only become closer, right? Luckily, I had Candace help me out with all of this, and we now have loads of evidence. She's a very good lawyer, after all, so after we are done writing up some reports about you cheating on me, we'll get to the divorce forms.
Divorce forms? What the hell is all of this about now?
The only one who seems to still not get what's going on here is you, Chris. Ever since I left that house, I've been preparing for this with the help of my parents, Candace, and some other friends. Pretty soon here, Candace will be paying you all a visit, and you'll be signing those forms for me, okay? And if you refuse, then the next time we meet will be in the courtroom, only that time I won't be nice to you at all.
You're taking things this far? What's gotten it into you? We have been so caring towards you, Alice.
Can you explain to me what exactly you're talking about? Ever since our wedding, there's been no love from your family, and at this point, love has become so non-existent that it might even be in the negatives now. Ah, and another thing. I made sure to send an envelope to your mom as well with evidence of you cheating this whole time.
You sent that to my mom? No!
I don't think it matters how much she spoils you. When she sees you in pictures sleeping with another girl, I don't think she'll look at you the same. She did say that one time we had dinner together that the things she hates most in life are those who cheat.
Alice, please tell my mom not to open that envelope and to just toss it.
It's already arrived, and I'm sure she's looking at it right now. You might want to ask her about it now. Good luck, Chris.
Wait a second, Alice.
From now on, I'd like you to talk with Candace if you have anything to say to me. With that, goodbye forever, you jerk. Alice, I have some news. It took a lot more time than I was expecting, but that guy finally signed the papers. The divorce has been finalized. Congratulations. Thank you so much for telling me, Candace. This was the final push for us then, right? That's right, and I'm glad you're free of them now, too. It felt so wonderful fighting against those that had ruined my childhood, and I hope we will never have to deal with them much more again. The only thing I'm a bit sad about now is that you're no longer my sister-in-law, so I'll never really see you again. What are you talking about? To me, you're like my real little sister, and I want you around me forever. Let's go out to eat again sometime, okay? Are you sure? Oh my god, thank you so much, Alice. I've gone and cut ties to all of them as well now, so they'll never know about us being around one another still. We're like two survivors who were able to escape from that abusive family. I'm so glad it's all pretty much over for us. We can finally take a moment to breathe. I feel the same way. After freeing myself from those animals, I feel as though I can become myself again. I'm really looking forward to getting back to working full-time again and living a life that will no longer include them. I'm sure that feels amazing. You're no longer going to have your life sucked away from you by those leeches and will be able to do whatever you want. Let's both work together and become amazing people. Let's do it! We can talk more about all of this really soon. We can have a party commemorating the day I divorced that asshole. Hell yeah. After that, having lost their only place to live, Chris and his parents had to move into a very old-looking apartment where there wasn't even any heating. Chris was also forced to pay a settlement fee to me because of his cheating, which didn't seem to sit well with him because he started to whine even more to Candace about her taking my side. This wouldn't faze Candace, though, and after a few back and forths, she told him to either pay it to me soon, or she'd have to go in front of a judge and face even more penalties. That ended up shutting him up, and within a week I had that settlement arriving in my bank account and never had to think about Chris again. After learning about how he had been cheating on me, Chris's mom forced him to break things off with that new hire. She was not finished with Chris, though, and started to think that he broke up with her because he had another woman. So at work, she started to make claims about how Chris was a sex offender and had assaulted her as well. Chris is now having to go to HR every day as an investigation has been started on him inside the company, which may lead to him being fired. This has also led to some very toxic situations back home for him, where neither his mother or father will talk to him. These are all things Candace was told in a letter from her mother, and which she later told to me. Now, with how things have turned out for me, right now I'm living a life without a single person getting in my way anymore, and have become even closer to my parents. Work is going really well for me, and I'm able to go out most weeknights and weekends to see friends I haven't been around in ages. Recently, I was asked by a younger guy at work if I wanted to go out to lunch with him someday, and I think I might just take him up on that offer. I hope things between him and I start off with a bang, and we can become more than just coworkers.